I wasn't going to watch the new Coach Prime documentary that's on Amazon. I wasn't going to do it. Wasn't going to do it, y'all. I said I can't take any more of these hit pieces on Jack State University. Can't take it. I was worried that it was going to be have little pieces in there like the Shannon Sharp interview. Or I'll just worry that it's going to be some self-absorbed stuff from Coach Prime. So I was like, I'm not gonna watch. But I did a poll with the realest ones. You know what I'm talking about? Now everybody who's down with me is a real one. But the realest ones are those who have become official members of the channel on YouTube. You feel me? So I did a poll that was exclusive to just them. And they told me, somebody, you gotta watch it. They voted. Said I gotta watch it. So I watched it. Okay. And so I'm gonna react to it in parts. I watched episode 1 thus far. Okay, haven't watched the other ones yet. I'll watch those and react to them in subsequent episodes. Okay. But while I'm thinking about it, I do want to shout out those realest ones. You feel me? That is Kenneth Milo, Daryl Lomax, Tariq Abdul Wahad, Mathematized Minds. I like that name. Playing off a hypnotized mind. I like it. Brother, you must be real in mathematics. You know what I'm talking about? DeJuan Jameson, you know what I'm talking about? Definitely a real one. Howard Beatty, the Seeker 61, and Sonic Boom C98. You feel me? I appreciate y'all. And I appreciate all y'all real ones who are down with me. This is the realest, most entertaining sports show in the game, and I am First Level. So let's talk about it. All right. Few things that stood out to me in the Coach Prime doc. But it's mainly the kids. That's what I really want to focus on. In all of these reactions to the doc is the kids, the players. Because we see them play. We hear Coach Prime all damn time. And then when you see the young men post they having fun for the most part. But sometimes in these docs, if you ask these kids the right questions, they'll tell you some real ass shit. And nothing stood out to me more than Nugget, Mr. Warren. Very talented DB. But he said something that I had never heard before. I've heard people say I got an old soul. I hear that all the time. But this young king said, and I quote, I may be young, but my eyes are old. That's some hard shit there, boy. I may be young, but my eyes are old. Think about that. See, the young king talked about losing people in his life to violence, growing up hard. He was talking about like with the water crisis and everything. He's like, I didn't survive with having no water, the water being cut off. I've survived with lights being cut off. But thankfully I ain't gotta go back to my old ways. He admitted shit. He said, I need a therapist. You hear a lot of young people saying that shit. You hear a lot of grown people saying that shit. You know a lot of people that need to say that and need to go see one. That's a little bit of wisdom from a young man. Some understanding of himself. He said he felt like he was drowning. You know what I'm saying? And all the stuff that was going on in his life and in the lives of the people that he loved. He talked about one of his cousins, if I'm not mistaken, or some other family member losing somebody close to them. Like a lot of real shit. And they're focusing on Nugget, but I talk to my wife about this all the time. Whenever you're out and about, especially I do this when I'm in a car, and you out there driving, every car you see, a person in that vehicle, every family that's riding along in that vehicle, there's whole story that goes with those people. So every player that runs out there on that field has a whole story connected to them. And Nugget got some real shit on his mind. And so I hope and I pray that young king gets the help that he needs. That's a lifelong thing. When you come from struggle, when you come from seeing some shit, that shit lives with you, man. It really does. I got folks in my family right now. God damn it, they need it. You know people like, hell, I'm one. I'm one. So I hope that young king continues to be that person who is aware of himself, or like I got tattooed on my left arm. You got to know thyself. That's biblical. You got to know thyself. You have to know yourself. And when you're in that age, that college age, that's the number one thing you need to be doing in college. You know what I'm saying? I know you think number one thing I need to do is graduate. True, you need to graduate. But in the midst of doing your work and doing what you got to do to get that degree so you can get out here and get some money, you need to find yourself. One of my best teachers ever, Miss Cleta Ellington, she said to us before we graduated from high school, in one of her classes, she taught me AP English, and also what was mythology, I think. And one of the things she said to us in one of those classes was, if y'all go to college and y'all come back home the same, you wasted your money. You feel me? So Nugget is in the midst of doing some shit that all college students should be doing, figuring it out. You know what I'm talking about? So shout out to that king. He's a real one. He's a real one. I'm gonna try to reach out to him. Just ideas with that. I'm not there yet. Where everybody that I reach out to responds. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna let the realest ones know about that. You know, if you want to know who all I've reached out to, like for interviews and stuff like that, and who didn't respond, make sure you become a realist one. I'm gonna share that. But hey, it doesn't hurt me at all if they don't respond. At least I can try to reach out to him, not only for an interview, but hell, I would love to just on some OG shit give him some game. Because that's who I was for my students. I was that one. Okay. Yeah, I knew my subject matter like a motherfucker. I knew the X's and O's and all that shit about coaching. But when it came to this life shit, that's why those kids love me. You feel me? And if you follow me on Facebook or other places and stuff like that, and you see my interactions with my former students, that's why they love me, not just because of what's in a book or us winning some games. It's deeper than that. And so, yeah, I plan on reaching out to that king, and we all could do that. In my lunch Operation OG last year, you know what I'm talking about? If you're from the Jackson metro area and you saw the reaction to that young sister from Murrah, a young lady jumped off a bridge and killed herself. And it was all this, everybody had an opinion on social media. And then I said, well, everybody got an opinion. Let's find somebody to mentor. Outside of your family, reach out and just touch one. Each one reach one. You know what I'm talking about? Each one teach one. However you want to do it. Kids like Nugget who can't play ball. It's a Nugget in everybody's school who can't play ball. Might not have an outlet. They need you. You feel me? So that stood out more than anything to me because it was some real shit. But some other stuff that stood out was Prime and Saban talking at the beginning, after their beef. And Prime telling Saban that he had a player say to him, Coach, let's talk about the business. And now both Prime and Saban, acting like that kid was wrong. America, I'm here to tell you that kid was goddamn right. That kid was right. And we're going to talk about King Damar Hamlin a little later. Okay. But I'll make this point right now. What happened to that king in the NFL can happen to a king in college, can happen to a king in high school. You feel me? So if I'm going to talk to a coach that I'm finna play for, and I'm finna put my motherfucking life on the line, while the coach gonna stand on the sideline and making all this fucking money, you know what I'm saying? We need to talk business then, coach. We need to talk business. If I'm gonna risk my life and I'm damn good enough, and there's a way for me to get paid for risking my life, I'll risk my life. If it's gonna translate into me making money for my family in a legitimate way without me having to do some street shit. We need to talk business then, coach. We need to talk some business. Oh, I can go back to what Nugget was talking about. Nugget was talking about he still got folks back in the trap, people that still living in poverty, and he wants to get them out of that. But with this whole NIL stuff we see now, these kids ain't got to wait till they get to the league to start helping their families if they're good enough. I saw something about one king paid off his, I think, sister's student loans from NIL money. So, yeah, coach, we need to talk business. We need to talk business, and I think it's improper for a filthy rich coach like Nick Saban, who making what, $8, $9, $10 million a year to coach Alabama with perks on top of that. For Prime, who, again, folks say he got a net worth $40 million, gonna get $5 million a year from Colorado. Or at Jack State at the time, making 300 racks. A lot of folks sniffing at $300,000. The average salary or yearly income in America is $50,000. $50,000. While I'm up in the hospital, my mama, a CNA told us they make the average CNA making $13 an hour. She hit us with a quote saying, "You shouldn't make more to flip burgers than you make to flip your grandma." So I think $300,000 goddamn good. Damn good. So I think it's improper for two rich motherfuckers to sit up here and say that a kid coming out of high school many times, not all the time, but many times coming from the conditions that Nugget was talking about, it's improper for those coaches to think, oh, these kids shouldn't ask us shit about no money. Fuck that. Fuck that. And then both of these coaches up here, what y'all doing? Y'all the fucking commercial, getting more money. Y'all on a commercial shoot, getting y'all some more money, but the kids shouldn't talk to y'all about no fucking money. Man, get the fuck out of here. Let's talk money, coach. Now, my son got autism, so being recruited like this or anything like that, more like we not finna go through that. But goddamn it, I got nephews. I got godchildren. Let they get recruited. And they ask uncle opinion. Hell, let's talk to them about the money. Prime whole image about the money. He came out of Fort Myers, Florida, with broke. You know damn well if they had NIL back then, him and his folks would have been asking about some motherfucking money. These cats got to stop the cap. Yes, you want them to be focused on getting to the NFL and getting the long-term money. Yes. But that's just like saying when they come into the league, that would be like me saying when they come to the league, don't focus on this contract. Be focused on what you're going to do with your money after you get out the league. No, let me get this shit right here first. I'm gonna focus on that. Let me attain this wealth first, then I'll flip it. We can talk about me flipping it afterwards. Let me get this right now. I got shit going on right now. That's what a lot of these kids are facing. They got folks in their families locked up right now. They got grandmamas and mamas that are sick right now. They got folks that really are hoping they can come through with some bread right now just to make ends meet. So miss me with that shit there. Miss me with that. Another thing that stood out to me that we knew about, but I just want to highlight it again, is how much Travis Hunter loves Deion Sanders. He really does. Understandably so. From Florida, plays cornerback and plays wide receiver. He loves to fish. He look at Prime and he sees himself. It's another reason why I'm telling y'all, for those who may be upset about some of the kids who have transferred out and moved to Colorado, it's hard to blame the kids. You know what I'm talking about? Prime's a different thing. It's hard to blame those kids. Imagine when you were growing up, if you're an OG. Let's say you one of my triple OGs, okay? Imagine you growing up. Think about somebody from your era. You know what I'm talking about? Let's say Walter Payton got a head coaching job somewhere. He recruited you somewhere, and then they got this transfer rule in back then, and then he could move. You might move. You know what I'm saying? Y'all young boys out there, imagine LeBron's career is over. Okay? LeBron passes Kareem, he hangs it up, decides he want to go coach at FAMU. Okay? I know he been hooking them up with gear and shit. So he goes and coaches at FAMU. He gonna get some dogs. He gonna get some boys to come on down there. All right. I know he from Ohio though. They say he kills it at FAMU. Then Ohio State say they want to give him the job, and Brun takes the job. Y'all young boys out there, you probably gonna transfer Brun because you idolize him. You feel me? So it's understandable from Travis's situation, especially like in that moment that we saw that previously. I think a lot of us in this space talked about the hug before the FAMU game between them. It looked like Prime kissed him, and we see he did. But I don't know if we previously could hear clearly and distinctly what Travis said to him. You know, that young man was emotional, and that's tough for a young football player. You know what I'm talking about? Especially goddamn, he one of them ones. So all that bravado and machismo, and for him to be basically crying, telling his coach, how much he means to him and shit. And talking to him about giving him a chance. Now, he Travis Hunter. Everybody in the country wanted him. But he ain't really focusing on a chance to play, to a chance to be around him. That's his idol. You know what I'm saying? And so that's unique. And so that's the kind of shit that makes me feel like, I said what I said about the whole Prime situation. I stand by that shit. I still don't hope that the man does pull out there, Colorado. I still don't. Because if he does, like I said, that will hurt other black coaches. I don't think him doing well is going to help other black coaches. I've spoken on that previously. You know what I'm saying? Because, like I said, black coaches in the NFL that won Super Bowl, goddamn it, nobody gave a fuck about that. Okay. Mike Tomlin just wrapped up another year of not having a losing season. He just lost a Hall of Fame quarterback and still didn't have a losing season with a rookie quarterback. But NFL still don't want to hire black coaches. So I don't think him doing well really going to help the black coaching thing, but it could hurt. The motherfuckers could say, damn, this won't be one of y'all best. And look what he did. But also it would hurt those kids if he failed. It would hurt Travis if he failed. It would hurt Tyler Brown, he was the real one that came on. He put it on something. He went out there with him. It would hurt that young king if he failed. Alejandro, the kicker, I like him. You know what I'm saying? He went on that. If Prime failed, it would hurt that kid. Cam, Silman, Craig, it would hurt all these kids if he failed. You feel me? And like I told y'all before, that connection with coach and player, that shit hit different. It's different. So I wish Travis well. I really do. Old Prime gives him the game that he needs to dominate, make it to the league, become a fucking all-pro, become a Hall of Famer. I really do. You know what I'm talking about? Because wouldn't you love to have a chance to be around your hero or your idol all the time? That would be dope. That would be dope. So I can't be mad at that. Lastly, the scene where they talk about Prime losing his grandmama during the game, during the FAMU game. Of course, that's striking. If you're a real one that cares about your family and you go out here and you work hard, you know, that kind of shit that happens. I remember my grandma passed away while I was teaching. 3rd period, William Sullivan High School, January 2011. I'm writing on the board. I'm going in. And my niece called my phone. And I always had my ring on my whole career because I'm a man of responsibility. Something happens, folks gotta be able to get in contact with me. So my niece called me and said, Uncle Adam, she gone. And I ran up out of there. I told my babies in 3rd period that I had to go. I told them what happened. Rushed down there, told the folks in the office what happened. Sped all the way from Durant, Mississippi to home to Canton. And she was already gone. And all my family just ended up crying. You know what I'm saying? Took I think maybe 2 days out, 2-3 days, I went right back to work. But the day I came back to work, one of my classes had taken up money for me. I want to say that was my 2nd period that had taken up money for me. My 2nd period was a motherfucker at that time. My 2nd period was giving me hell. I want to say that was my 2nd period that had taken up money for me. And that's what got me. That's what got me. So I could relate to that scene. I know many of you could as well. Because whether your ass is prime time, Coach Prime, Hall of Famer, whether you elevate or you are terminated, no matter who you are, we all had to deal with real shit. We do. So that was a moment that anybody could relate to. But real ones, y'all chime in, tell me what y'all thought about, specifically episode 1. Okay, we're gonna talk about 2, 3, and 4 later on. Okay, but tell me what y'all thought about episode 1 of the new Coach Prime doc. All right, put it on some.
Thank you so much for watching my daddy's YouTube channel. Make sure you like, share, and turn on your post notifications. Okay, how do I do it?